I found myself standing in Anapra, a suburb of Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, which is sort of a shanty town, dirt streets, very few resources, and it literally forms the border with the United States. And I looked around and I was absolutely surrounded by suffering animals. There were animals on every corner, on every street, starving, searching for food, covered in mange. And when I was looking around, I realized there was no one to help them. Resources in Mexico are scarce for animal welfare, but Mexico is our neighbor, so we should be the ones to help. My husband and Mancho and I decided right then to lend a hand and save these lives.
She's still a street dog.
She's such a happy dog at home. She is Charlie, you guys, she looks great. Fortunata!
She came from Mexico, I know, in the shelter in Juarez.
Miss Bean was found in the dump in Juarez with her eye hanging out. Lady picked her up and took her to a small shelter, and they took care of the eye. So then she was fortunately rescued by Compassion Without Borders.
This is Molly Mello. She came from Mexico City, Refugio Franciscano.
I like to refer to it as she went from the outhouse to the penthouse in our house.
Welcome everybody. This is obviously an incredibly joyful time. Seeing all these doggies happy, most a little overweight, with their people. Today, I get the honor of introducing, and I say this not lightly, two very special people. I think this is kind of an emotional time for all of us because they're just seeing so many wonderful critters here. They've not only have brought back literally hundreds of dogs from Mexico City, but they have also gone into Juarez and other parts of Mexico and set up spay camps. They have worked with the shelter personnel. They themselves have helped with euthanasia training because electrocution is a common method of killing. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, these two wouldn't do to save lives. Christian Mancho? In addition to just saving these precious lives who have all come from such terrible backgrounds, it's sort of a selfish reason, at least for me, and it's because it gives me the joy and the strength to do the other work that we do that's so important.
They like couples.
So I remember when I met Mancho, and one of my very first questions was if he had a dog, which he did. And then my next question was, where does your dog sleep? And the dog slept in the bed, and so then I accepted my first date with him. When I decided to come come live with Mancho, I was planning on volunteering full-time at the Refugio. Refugio Franciscano is a privately owned animal shelter in the heart of Mexico City. The Refugio houses up to 2,000 dogs, most of whom never leave. And at first I was just sort of fiercely independent, and that was my thing. I was going to volunteer at the Refugio. I was the animal advocate. That was my passion. That was what I was doing. And I was, even though I was living in Mexico City and madly in love with Mancho, I was going to maintain this little independent, sense of self and have my own thing. But slowly Mancho started coming to the Refugio more and more too, and I think some of the moments where I most loved Mancho or realized that Mancho was my true soulmate was watching him in the Refugio and just watching him interact with the animals and the true kindness and the true compassion and the patience and the caring, and it was all there. It slowly became our thing, and what an amazing thing for someone like myself, where this really is my whole life and this is what I care about. To be able to share my frustrations and my joys and my ambitions with someone who feels them just the same way I do and understands completely where I'm coming from. And I mean, our love is much more than our work for the animals, but it's a huge part of it. And it's a really great part of it. And it just sort of slowly blossomed out of, pretty much out of the Refugio, I would say. Our experiences at the Refugio, the good ones and the bad ones. Quasi was, he's from Mexico City, and he was chained to a spike in someone's front yard, and on the same spike they had a pit bull chained, and the pit bull attacked Quasi and gave him a lot of injuries, but the worst one was his eye, which was literally kind of hanging out of the socket. He ended up in a small cage, within a cage at the Refugio. Oh, I love this dog. So handsome. He's a good boy.
Sometimes in Mexico it's so overwhelming, it's so adverse, it's so sad. You find so much suffering and tragedy in your face. And the rescue is always like a kick of life for us. It's just like it's just knowing that individual is just gonna have a good life now.
At the Refugio, I'm leading a rescue effort with several California animal rescue groups. We're going to choose 15 dogs who will be flown back to California for adoption.
We try to respect their lives. I think the most essential right they have is their own lives.
Tobias. Spanky.
Hi, Sarah. ¿Quién Mancho? ¿Cómo se dice tocayo?
I don't know how you say when tocayo is when you have the same name of another person.
Okay.
So he's Mancho too.
Oh, that's Mancho.
Yeah.
Mancho. Oh, now look it.
but if you don't like, we can just move it out. I think it's handsome. It's Kathy, that is the
Little shy one?
no, with the one. No, Kathy's the shy one, the terrier one.
That one.
Yeah,
I
the fat
love-
one. Yeah, the one
love
like.
that dog.
Corey's the one with the teeth, the funny teeth.
Yeah.
I need one dog.
One dog.
That one is already in the list.
On the list. Where's the other one that you want to have?
Yeah,
Young, for sure. She's cute. Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, okay.
When you first got here, it was like, ew, I'm gonna get muddy, and now it's like, rub it all over. Oh, you're so sweet.
Let's go, guys. We're going to the US of A.
Otros muchachos.
Así, aquí está.
You know her, she's really sweet.
Okay. Oh, so cute. I missed you. During the next 3 weeks, the dogs will receive medical care and socialization. Next, they head off to CAPE and other rescue groups who will adopt them into new homes.
looking fat, friend. You're getting some.
In 2003, Mancho and I moved from Mexico back to Northern California, where we continue to run our organization, Compassion Without Borders.
You're working on that belly like me?
The rescue work is so rewarding, but to really address the pet overpopulation problem in Mexico, we organize free spay-neuter clinics throughout the country several times each year. We've been packing for the past 16 hours.
Yeah, I think that's kind of right.
We've slept approximately 4, and we're going to be driving for the next 24.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, this is gorgeous, but we're doing already so many times. Welcome to Mexico, land of the cashmere beauty.
We got the permit. Higher success at the spay camp depends on the permit,
Yeah.
which, although we ask for it several months in advance, is always a gamble.
It's the first time that really the government is really getting involved. We are getting the contract for all the anti-rabies in the state of Chihuahua. That's never happened in Mexico. It's the first time animal rights advocates are gonna take over the anti-rabies.
And will there still be electrocution in the state of Chihuahua, Mancho?
No, we're not gonna be having any electrocution more in this state. We're gonna switch all the pound centers to humane euthanasia, and we're gonna really put a lot of pressure in humane handling and humane housing for these animals. We're really excited. We're really happy about it. No, day 4 actually of our trip, and we are going to set up the spay-neuter clinic. We are going to, for the first time, see the place we're going to be working today.
So the way it works for the spay camp is that we'll only work in the most impoverished neighborhoods, and so we don't have to worry about, qualified low income or anything.
You can see we like highly touristic places to spend our vacations. They are you just have all the facilities of a nice spa. Like right now you cannot see too many dogs because the weather is really hot. So the dogs are pretty much all the time hiding below cars or like in this type of bushes that they are just wherever they could find a little shade. And when the sun goes away, then the streets are just filled with dogs roaming around. And this part of the day they try to keep cool because they don't have water, they don't have anything. And it's just before we set up the clinic, we get the school, and there's some of the basic supplies that the school has. This is gonna become the recovery area for our spay camp. This room here is gonna be the surgery and prep area for where the dogs are going to be doing surgery, and the technicians are going to be preparing the dogs for surgery. It's just going to be really nice, and it's going to work perfectly, the location. So now what you're doing?
I'm clearing space. I just put away a Christmas tree. We always have more of a demand than we can ever possibly meet, even though we've grown, and at first we're doing 25 to 30 animals a day, and now we can get up to, up to 70, 80 animals a day. It's just, the need is, we can never match the need.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, it's just, was like when we started, it was just like, no, it's not culture in Mexico for spay and neuter, and that's not gonna work. You're gonna go to the area and nobody's gonna show up. We have people showing up maybe since 4 in the morning.
We've come to the model where it's first come, first serve, and basically people just start lining up.
kids
you
are
know?
great. you
Yeah,
know?
the kids come and they're not really sure. Of course, the dog's
They're
never
dragging
been
the
on a leash
dog
in their
and, yeah.
life, and they're not really sure what to do with the dog and what he's going to do with the dog.
¿Hace cuánto nació el perrito?
And then they just see us, and of course we're on the floor and we're kissing the dog and we're crazy about the dog. And then, you know, pretty soon they're on the floor and they're kissing the dog. I'm not really sure that there's a lot of role models in their societies or in the neighborhoods we work in that kiss dogs on the face and that talk like an idiot, you know, like baby talk to the dogs.
¿Cómo estás? Oye, ¿a ti te gusta mucho Scooby? ¿Si es tu amigo? ¿Te lo quieres?
Sí,
¿Lo cuidas mucho de Scooby o no?
sí.
No le pegas, ¿verdad? No, pobrecito, ¿verdad? ¿Él les duele? ¿Te gusta la gente que les pega a los perros? No, ¿verdad que no? Los perros son buenos amigos, ¿verdad? Sí.
One thing that I find that was an unexpected gift of the spay camps was how it's contagious for the volunteers. Our volunteer list like grows exponentially, and it's people, they always want to come back.
Yeah, because the spay camps are hard. You know, with Christian, I was just like, how they're gonna come back?
Yeah.
You know, why are they coming back? You know, and every spay camp, they are there now. Come on, show the dancing. Come on.
I like Mancho very much. We come to the camp for Mancho.
Oh yeah, sure. But it's gratifying.
Yeah.
You go to your bed like, please amputate my foot. I don't want it anymore. And somebody take him off.
The spay camps are a place where we all get together and we take care of a community of animals. And I'm very glad to come and help. I wouldn't know what to do if I missed a camp, in all honesty. Yeah. It's very important to me to donate my time and to help any way I can. I go home and cry for 4 days too when I go home.
Yeah, this is the only vacation that I've had in like the last 3 years. I've been 2 times a year for the past 5 years. They very much appreciate us, and I appreciate that. And I love to give my time. It's very much needed, very, very much. Oh, and I love Christy. That's the only reason. Dr. Christy.
Wonderful people, wonderful locals, great animals, even though they're oftentimes very pitiful. It's very satisfying. It's the most satisfying work I do.
The thing is it's a big health problem for their communities. You know, they have poo everywhere. They have dogs that get hit by a car really often and they're rotting on the side of the way. And they have children get bit by dogs. And for them, it's a reality. It is a problem that they have this health issue in their society. We are back in the hotel and we take this little dog that we found the Sunday after we we put the clinic together that day, and the owners that was bathing it with cold water on the side of the road because she fell down from the roof a week ago.
Está cerrado. No tenemos la llave. Tiene que ser rosa. Sí, se me cayó. ¿Qué se acercó una persona aquí?
A ver, es que no quiero ponerla en
We just did a surgery and take the spleen out and spay her at the same time. Michelle, what you're doing to this dog?
We're doing a blood transfusion.
That's why.
That's right. We're doing a blood transfusion because the dog fell off the roof 5 days ago.
And we have it now in the hotel, and she looks like she's gonna make it. She's adorable little scruffy terrier mix.
She's very cute eyebrows.
case you didn't notice.
Oh, and that odd-shaped belly.
Yeah.
Ouchie.
And I would have never really believed it unless I've seen it so many times that we're adding value to the animal. But for whatever reason, whatever dynamic of the situation, it does. And you're vaccinating them, and you're sterilizing them, and you're giving them a nice collar, and you're putting a name tag, and you're giving them flea and tick control, and you're deworming them, and then of course you're telling them how beautiful their animal is and how lucky they are to have their animal. And it does. It seems that it does add some value to the animal for whatever it's worth.
Helping the animals, we're helping the humans. We are not separated from each other. And what we are trying to do is also help the humans. And we address the issue every time we do to the spay camps. We try to educate the children, give it a nice smile. You know, sometimes you don't know how much go a smile or just a word of compassion.
My love for animals, especially dogs, I think is when I was little. I just come as my best friends. I think they're just the best friends you can have. I feel sad for the people that doesn't have the chance to enjoy that unconditional love that a dog can give you.
The mom?
She is the size of the mom.
Yeah.
He was
a
stray.
Yeah, was a stray in the camp.
She's so sweet.
She goes one of our goals as an agency is to bring that awareness that in our community there's still needs out there for firewood, especially in the senior population, and that as together as a community, we can meet that need.
Each year gets a little harder and a little harder, but just seeing this, I feel like one of the lucky ones.
This is a story of gumption, perseverance, and damn luck. It starts with this man.
Charles Litton was Einstein brilliant.
He was a genius, made countless contributions to the high technology of his time, vacuum tubes. In 1953, he moved from a young Silicon Valley to Grass Valley, California.
I think that's what happens, right? A lot of us, we found a way to get to Nevada City, Grass Valley, or we found it for the first time, and we don't want to leave.
Soon after, he talked his friend Dr. Donald Hare into starting his engineering business in the same mountain town.
Doc Hare, Grass Valley, I believe came to Grass Valley almost as much for the area as everybody else, but he knew Litton.
Doc Hare and a small cadre of incredibly talented engineers quickly made their mark on a new technology that was captivating the world: television.
Grass Valley knew how to do things with a transistor that previously took a tube.
What came next is decades of innovation, ultimately leading to dozens of spin-offs and related technology companies who themselves made countless world-changing contributions.
How they got to television is this circuitous path of technology that I don't think anyone would ever predict.
The fact that any of this happened at all is technically improbable.